Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. My name is Alice Fong, and I'm from Lead Capital, a licensed equity crowdfunding platform in Malaysia. We are thrilled to welcome you to this exclusive fundraising webinar featuring the Rainmakers, one of the most exciting prop tech startups currently raising funds on our platform. Before we dive in, just a quick note for those who are new to equity crowdfunding. ECF is a regulated fundraising method that allows investors like you and me to invest in early and growth stage businesses in exchange for equity. So basically, the public can invest as long as they are 18 years old and above. At Lead Capital, our goal is to connect promising companies with investors who are passionate about fueling innovations and growth. Tonight, you will get a front row seat to one such opportunity. Tonight's session is all about the Rainmakers, a fast-growing prop tech startup with a mission to democratize real estate ownership in Malaysia through fractional investment. If you have ever thought that property investing is out of reach or limited to the wealthy few, this company is about to change your perspective. In the next hour, you will discover how the Rainmakers is revolutionizing real estate access via technology. Hear directly from the founders about their visions, traction, and future roadmap. Yeah, Kelf and Joe are the co-founders for this company. Learn how you can become an early investor in this high-potential venture. Explore how your capital can fuel innovation while potentially generating attractive returns. Without further ado, let's welcome the brains behind the Rainmakers. Please join me in giving a virtual welcome to Kelf Gan, who will walk us through his pitch, vision, and how you can get involved. Kelf, over to you.
Thanks, Alice. Hi, everyone. So thanks, first of all, just want to say thank you for joining tonight, your valuable time this evening. So I'm Kalf Gan, the CEO of the Rainmakers. So before I start, I just want to say that over decades, everybody knows that property investors are facing a couple of market problems that hindering them, stopping them from building up a good or healthy real estate portfolio. I would say, first of all, very common will be high entry barrier. So if you can't pay for down payments, you don't even have to think about what's next. Secondly, will be stringent banking requirements. Thirdly, illiquidity. And lastly, tedious acquisition processes. So you need to take care of A to Z and so many parties to take care of. So in Rainmakers, we provide them the solutions, namely SASS. S for simplicity. We ensure all the investors do not have to go for a bank loan, don't need to tie them up for a monthly bank installment, and exposing them on the interest fluctuations. And in Rainmakers, we make sure that accessibility is something crucial, where all the investors will be able to start investing from as low as 500 ringgit. Speed is something that we ensure that investors will be able to check out within a few clicks. And most importantly, will be security. This is where we make sure all the properties are legally owned and we provide trusted protections for the investors. Let me give a bit of sneak peek of how the Rainmaker dashboard looks like. So I believe this is one of the crucial one because not many also say we are the pioneer in terms of providing a dashboard for the investors to lock in and see what they have invested in, going through the rentals progress, looking through the ROI of the property investments. In this marketplace tab, you will be able to check out what's available for them to invest in and understanding what's next. And by, by confirming, clicking invest now will lead them to this invest page. This is where we provide a very detailed prospectus where we make sure all the investors fully understands about the properties before they invest in. By clicking invest now will lead them to the checkout page to sign all the legal documents as well as making payment. Let me give us a bit of market validations that we have done. First of all, will be Arrive. Arrive is a fractional firm in the US, where this is actually backed by Amazon founders, Jeff Bezos. They registered 486,000 users and completed over 100 million worth of properties. Gastic, which is the fractional firms in Dubai and Saudi Arabia. So they registered 386,000 users and completed over 200 million worth of properties. In Malaysia, we've been thinking about, do we have that market sizing? Yes, we do, because we have 4.1 million Malaysians that constantly talk about investment online, be it social medias or forums. So this is target goals that we wanted to tap in and convert them to be the users and investors of the Rainmakers. So in this competition metrics, we clearly outline saying that the Rainmakers outplay traditional real estate acquisitions, where they're focusing more on the offline transactions. On the other hand, will be REITs, where they do not provide an ownership to the investors. Let me give you a bit understandings about how the Rainmaker works. All right. So first of all, as a property issuers or property sellers, they will then approach the Rainmakers to park the properties into for us to perform due diligence, and we will then appoint independent valuers to check the market valuations and also the legal firms to make sure that the due diligence are what we actually wanted to check. All right. So upon doing the due diligence, we will then set up the LP entity, and by then we will allow investors to start investing into the property or the campaign. So once the campaign fully subscribed or successfully raised, we will then appoint a property management services to manage the property, no matter it's the Airbnb or co-living basis. So we will then provide these services to the investors. And lastly, we ensure that the custodians will be able to cater and make sure all the compliances are intact. This will be our revenue stream in the Rainmakers. We do have acquisition fees where we make sure on every campaign launch. We do have a transfer fees in order from the transacted value, and the rental income fees, a 3% fees on the rental income distributed to the investors. On the other hand, on the yearly basis, we do have a 0.5% fees, which is charged based on the property sales price. On every property that the sellers sold in our platforms, we will then charge a 2% fees, just like how they pay all the property agents out there. Let me show what we have done so far. So we've done 2 projects. First of all will be Resort Suite 01, which is the a commercial building in Spandau Sunway, right above Sunway Pyramid. So we raised 628,000, and we actually gained about 34 investors in the campaign. Subsequently, we launched a Resort Suite 02, a similar unit in the same building. We raised 628,000 with 41 investors. So there's a return investors of 26.8%, which is a good thing that people are willing to reinvest into property with a smaller capitals, so that they will be able to enjoy the diversifications. So throughout the year 2024 and 2025, we consistently deliver a returns of 7 to 9% net as a rental income back to the investors. This is the team. So this is me, Kafgan. So Joe is here, June is here as well. So we are actually the team that we started this back then in 2022. A bit of milestones that we achieved. First of all, throughout the years, we launched the entire platform, entire platforms, where we allow investors to be able to track and to know what they invested in. We completed a few projects, all right? And the most importantly is the whole entire framework that we built to make sure the businesses as well as the legal foundations are promptly being built. So the reason why we actually enroll ourselves in the sandbox is we want to make sure that our frameworks are being tested, as well as to make sure that we are not being covered by any existing framework, to bring this on to the market and to make sure that our business model, our feasibility, and our compliance are being tested. So we do have a contingency plan here, which is the interest scheme via the SSM, which is a licensed fundraising models operate under the SSM, a trustee-based safeguard, make sure that all the investors are being protected, a full regulatory oversight by the SSM, as well as it did not deter ourselves from our same mission, because we want to make sure that we will be able to offer a fractional property investment in a secure legal framework. In terms of our future implementations, so upon our full commercializations, we will then roll out the mobile apps that's available for the iOS and Android. So people will be able to invest through property investment at their fingertip, streamlining all the listings, faster property listings, as well as investor engagement, enhancing our platform features in terms of UI UX. So investors will be able to check and invest anytime they want to. And our user growth target will be targeting 100,000 users on the full commercialization. So continuous improvement is also our last things that we actually continuously would do it. In this seed round, we are here to raise R1 million from investors and on the 11 million valuations. Based on this funding, we will then use it for our tech enhancement, our compliance costs, operational costs, as well as marketing. So I hope you all understand how the whole entire fractional works in Malaysia. And sorry, I hope that if you have any questions in mind, do let me know. I'll be able to address it. So yeah, let's grow the first fractional real estate platform in Malaysia. Thank you.
Thank you, Calv. Thank you for the insightful presentation. We'll now open the floor for a short Q&A session. Feel free to drop your questions in the chat or unmute your microphone to ask your questions. What is the exit plan?
This is our seed round. So we have been raising, this will be our third round. We have a pre-seed, seed, and this will be seed. So it's actually ready for us for for a full commercializations. Our exit plans will be on the pre-series A, will be the next round, or subsequently will be on the next round fundraisings.
If there's no questions, then maybe before we wrap up, I would like to take a few minutes to walk you through how you can invest in the Rainmakers via our Lead Capital platform. So you may think about your questions first, then maybe after my session, you can, yeah, there are a few questions. Can show the breakdown of the two successfully funded properties.
That's the question, yeah, Alice.
Yeah.
This is into the company, Mohammed. Not the individual projects.
Yeah.
Yeah, the individual project that we showcase will be what we have done as a proof of concepts and to show that investors are being benefited through the fractional investing.
There's another questions about the breakdown of the two successfully funded properties.
Oh, sure. 1 second. Yeah. Here you go, Ahmad. So a resort suite is a commercials building for about 20 years, which is what you call good for an Airbnb basis. So it's right above Bandar Sunway Pyramid Hotels, right? So it's a good best location because the only condominium or apartments that actually link to Sunway's shopping mall. So the property price about 500,000. Okay, so we incur in renovations, sinking funds, legal fees, stamp duties, as well as our fees. All right, and we actually raise it from 34 investors. Then once we fully raise, subsequently we will go for a second project, which is another unit. One is 17th floor, one is 19th floor, the other one is 21st floor. We raised 608,000 similarly, same size. We raised from 41 investors. So it was actually mostly being managed by a property management company there, and it's actually on the Airbnb basis. So wherever receives net of the fees that we pay for, net of the utilities, everything, we deliver about 7 to 9% back to the investors. I hope I addressed your question, Ahmad.
Yeah, Mr. Ahmad, are you clear with the breakdown? Income coming from short-term rental only?
Okay, Mr. Ahmad, so this property that we actually purchasing was mainly for a short-term rental. So they were properties for residential and commercial units that mainly for long-term stays. Then the rentals will come from a long-term stays from the tenant. So every property, different locations will cater for a different strategy. So this is where we would then structure it so that it give you best benefit to the investors. So if I structure these long-term stays in Bandar Sunway, the rental returns will be catering between about 4.5%, and that's it, net off. So or below 4%. So this is why we make it a Airbnb unit, because a lot of people check in and out through there. So this is the reason why we cater for a short-term stay in Bandar Sunway. Mr. BK, who will be selecting properties for the platforms? Any property sellers will be able to list it up and sell it through our platforms. We as a platform, we do our due diligence by understanding what's best to invest in, because we are using wherever have the property market, what we call them data, big data, to make sure that all these properties are delivering a good rental returns before we list it up for investors to invest in.
All right. So developer can't just flock off property. They can't sell via this, right?
No. So even though the developer wanted to sell through us, first of all, we need to make sure that market valuations is being passed on, and it's actually something that making sense and market value. So we don't just let developers to flock off their properties through our platforms. Mr. Gazara,
Yeah, Dr. Ghazala asked about investor can be a Malaysian company, Sendirian Berhad, that has 100% foreign shareholders.
You're talking about able to invest in, right, Mr. Gazara?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Able to invest in definitely is a yes, because we set up the entity that holding the properties, and we are basically investing along with Malaysians. And to answer the question, Mr. Ghazala, in our first and second property, we do have foreigners that invest in. They are from Bangladesh. So they are our investors, and everything goes through smoothly, no issues. Just that we have to make sure that the platform's able to cater for a proper duty, a proper know your customers. So this is to make sure that our criteria are being met as a platform's provider. Welcome. Thank you.
Any other questions? Kelfa, maybe you can answer what kind of properties, right, is actually catered for long-term rental?
Sure. Property that nears MRT stations, mainly cater for a long basically for a working class. That pressures about between 4 to 5%. I mean, we have to accept that certain long-term stay properties, they are actually delivering between 4 to 5+%. All right, that's better than the FD rate. Plus, and any appreciations on the capitals on the property over the next 5 years, that will be additional bonus as an investors. So property investing, the most crucial part is we will be able to hold on to the property without having paying to the bank installments. That's the painful part that most of the Malaysians or most of the property investors are facing. So we leverage with the power of communities that we co-own the property together, and getting all the passive income through the rental income. Alongside, we wait for a capital appreciation over the next 5 years or the next property bull run. I hope I understand you.
Yeah, thank you. Any other questions from the floor? Can be a commercial property or only a residential property?
Yep, that's our call for now. So we mainly looking for a commercial property and residential, but commercial property, it's split into Airbnb units or is a service apartment, and we do also look into what do you call that, shop lots. All these are part of the commercial properties. It's just that for now we don't do lands, we don't do commercial agricultural lands, or we do industrial lands. All this we don't do yet. So we're trying to be very niche and precise of what we're doing.
Maybe tell us again how the property is structured to be owned fractionally.
Okay,
as in the contracts behind, right? How does that work again?
Cool. So whenever we get a properties from a property sellers, right? So what we do here is we make sure that the property price are being added with 5 other things. First of all, 5 entities. First of all, it would be a property price. Second, refurbishment costs. Thirdly, will be the legal costs. Fourth, a sinking fund. Because buying property, you need to make sure that we set aside a sinking fund, and to make sure that to do all the repairs and maintenance work going for the next 3 to 5 years. All right. And lastly will be our fees as a campaign. So we add up all 5 together, and we make sure we split we split these 5 numbers, full numbers or overall numbers, into a fractional units that investors will be able to invest in. And the minimum amount is 500 ringgit. So when a campaign is fully launched, we will then complete the entire campaign, and all the property will be then parked by an LP to make sure that the property investors will be able to co-own the properties. So this is how the entire framework works.
Okay.
And sorry, at the same time, we don't hold all the money that property investors that invested in, because all these are being held by a trustee. Yep. And Mr. Gazala saying that clinics, hospitals, yes, for now, because most of clinics in Malaysia are shop lots, right? So, or office lot is actually doable. And in our pipelines, fractionals, we do aim to work along with our business partner. So this meant to be like, if clinics that wants to expand to another place, and we could actually buy down with a group of investors, and they will be our tenant, and we would be their landlord. I'll answer you, Mr. Gazala.
Yeah, there's another question from Aicha. How do Rainmakers typically maximize ROI for each investment they make? Are there specific frameworks or principles they follow to ensure optimal capital efficiency and strategic returns?
Yeah. So every time we get a property from the investors, first of all, we need to go to the big data to make sure that how much was it being listed in the most of website that you see, Property Guru, iProperties, to understand the returns that best kept. Even though we extend our tracking towards Agoda, Booking.com, Airbnb, to see what's the best. That if those properties that do not list it in the Airbnb, Agoda, so we will actually then pull them out in terms of a short-term stays. And before we move on to the next steps, all the property that they're able to pull in, we will have our own metrics. The metrics basically tell us that how old is this property. Let me show you. So this is a prop. I don't think you all can see the sheet that I'm holding. So this is all the internal property metrics that we have. And we make sure that we need to know how old, how many years are the property, the buildings. Is there any flood hazard, or basically you have the how much rental was it receiving, and then what's the rental performance, and then we have all the accessibility in nearby the property to make sure that this property is best for a working class, for a tourist, or mainly just for a long-term stays by the neighborhood. So once we get all this data being tabulated, we will then know that this property is best catered for that specific needs. So on the second question, what is the current operational cost structure like? Break it down into fixed and variable costs and share how you are optimizing cost to output ratios. Okay, so on the cost, basically, are being handled, or the Airbnb are being handled by a property management company. Okay, so they will charge us a fees based on the total rental received. So they will also tabulate how was the utility bill. How we check it, we based on statements, and also the management fees. Hardly there will be any other fees incurred, because when we deliver the unit back to the property management services, it's an entirely new unit. So what you see in this photo is basically the first look of the property when we got the unit, and our role here is to renew it into the new unit, so that there will be lower maintenance and repair costs going forward. So, and all the properties are then being tabulated into the rights of the investors, so they won't be able to check through or to vote for what they want to invest in. So overall, this is how it works for now. I hope you get to how we manage the costs here. So our sinking funds that we have in mind is basically about 5% of the property price. So any things that we have beyond that, claims, we would then tabulate in the to the investors, so investors will be able to know what that being charged from the property repairs. Aisha, I hope I answered your questions. Kindly, Ghazala, is it possible to avoid any convenience with the details? Can you send us email?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You,
sure.
you table your questions and send to everyone. Yeah, we'll document it. If not, then maybe I can do a short presentation to walk you through about the investment process. Yeah. Okay. So basically, you just need to log in to visit to our website, lead.capital, and then sign up as an investor if you are not an existing investor. So if you are an existing investor, you can just click on login button, yeah, to log into to your account to do the investment. Okay, so select I want to invest. Then you'll be redirected to the investor sign up page. So from here, you need to fill in your personal details. We'll ask for more details because due to the Anti-Money Laundering Act, SC has a very stringent requirements on this. So we need to do a proper due diligence on all the investors. So make sure you fill up all the details. Select the type of investor that you want it to be in. So retail investor, you have a cap of 10,000 ringgit per campaign. So for each campaign, you have 10,000 for a year. You can invest up to 50,000. Yeah. Sorry, you can invest up to 100,000. For angel investors, each campaign you have a cap of 50,000, and sophisticated investor has no limit. So, but for angel investor and sophisticated investors are required to provide more documents like your source of income, source of wealth, all this. You need to specify where you're getting this. Where are you getting all these funds from? And make sure you check all the check boxes. So once you completed everything, right, then you'll be redirected to this page, which is your dashboard. You'll be able to see all the deals here. If you already invested in some other deals, then you can see all the deals here. Yeah. If you are invested in Lead Capital on our Lead Capital platform. So how do you invest in an ECF campaign on Lead Capital? So again, you need to visit to lead.capital website, click login. Then you need to click on this invest now. So you'll be redirected to all these pages. This is all the deal that listed on our platform. So the Rainmakers currently is not a live campaign yet. So you can click on this learn more to learn more information about this campaign. Once it's live, then you'll be able to invest. But now you are able to indicate interest, like how much you want to invest. So this is the campaign page. So if you are interested, then you can click on this I'm interested. Then you can indicate the lot size you want to put. Yeah. The number of lots you want to put. One lot is 1,985 ringgit and 35 cents. Then you confirm on pre-investment. So when you confirm on this, right, we're just having the information captures in our campaign page. So there's no requirements for you to transfer funds now until the campaign is live. So how do you invest on Lead Capital? So when the campaign is live, right, then you will have this page. Once you click on invest, right, then you'll be able to see this investment completed. Then you need to see, you need to refer to the reference ID and put this reference ID in your transfer slip and make sure you transfer the funds to this trust account. And this information will be sent to you via email as well once you already confirm that you want to invest. When you click on this My Investment, then you'll be able to see this page where it shows your deals, the investment that you put in. Please click on the verify button. So when you click the verify buttons, that will redirect you to this page where you need to upload your transfer slip or proof of investments. Please make sure when you transfer your funds, right, the funds is actually transferred from the bank account that you registered on our platform. Please do not register with one bank account and then transfer with another bank account. That's actually violating our money laundering practices also. Yeah. So make sure you do the proper transfer. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. So if there's any there's any things you would like to ask us, then you can contact us via this email, or you may contact us at this 011-5638-7243. Yeah. I think some of you may have my number as well because I send a reminder WhatsApp to you guys, right? You can reach out to me via that number. There's no questions, right, from the chat panel? No, Okay, all good. Okay. Thank you everyone for your participations. I hope you can be part of this, the Rainmakers fundraising journey, be part of this business, so you can witness the progress and help to make this prop tech startup grow further. Yeah, thank you very much. So we'll send you the presentation recording and also the questions Q&A. Yeah.